astrology and sexual self-discovery showing how passion, intimacy, and pleasure are uniquely experienced. For women seeking to understand their sexual selves on a deeper level, astrology can act as a mirror, reflecting hidden desires, unconscious patterns, and innate tendencies that might otherwise remain unspoken. Through the symbolic language of the planets and signs, astrology opens a pathway to self-awareness, showing how passion, intimacy, and pleasure are uniquely experienced. Venus, pleasure and attraction. Venus governs love, beauty, and the way we express sensuality. Its sign placement often reveals what brings you pleasure, how you like to be courted, and what makes intimacy feel safe and fulfilling. A Venus in Taurus may crave touch, steadiness, and indulgence, while Venus in Gemini might be aroused by playfulness, conversation, and mental stimulation. Mars, desire and sexual drive. Mars rules passion, lust, and the primal side of sexuality. It shows how you pursue what you want, and what kind of energy excites you. Mars in Aries, for example, thrives on intensity, spontaneity, and bold encounters, while Mars in Pisces may long for emotional merging and transcendence. The Moon, emotional needs in intimacy. The Moon reveals your inner world, what makes you feel nurtured, safe, and emotionally open in sexual connection. It speaks to the softer, more vulnerable side of intimacy. A Moon in Cancer might seek closeness and reassurance, while a Moon in Aquarius could crave freedom, novelty, and experimentation. The rising sign and sexual expression. Your rising sign shapes the energy you project and how you step into relationships. It can color how others perceive your sensuality and the role you naturally take in attraction. When explored together, these placements create a holistic picture of your erotic self. How you love, how you desire, how you need to be held, and how you step into intimacy. Instead of confining sexuality, astrology celebrates its complexity, offering a lens through which women can reclaim, honor, and deepen their erotic identities. Full guide that breaks down each Venus, Mars, and Moon sign with its sexual themes. Venus in Aries. Bold, fiery, and passionate. You crave excitement, novelty, and partners who keep you on your toes. Physical attraction is instant, and you thrive on playful tension and erotic spontaneity. Moon in Taurus. Stability, touch, and comfort are essential. You feel safest when love is consistent and grounded. Intimacy is slow, sensual, and deeply physical. You crave affection that reassures you. Venus in Gemini. Curiosity rules your heart. You're turned on by witty banter, mental play, and variety. Flirting and teasing fuel your erotic spark. You need a partner who stimulates both your mind and body. Venus in Cancer. You desire emotional closeness above all. Nurturing, tenderness, and deep emotional bonds matter more than flashy passion. Sexual intimacy feels like an extension of love and care. Venus in Leo. You crave romance, admiration, and grand gestures. Being adored lights your fire, and sex becomes a stage for creativity, fun, and passionate self-expression. You need to feel special. Venus in Virgo. Attentive and discerning, you express love through care and devotion. You're aroused by feeling truly understood and appreciated. Erotic connection grows stronger when there's trust and a sense of purity in the bond. Venus in Libra. Romantic, harmonious, and aesthetic-driven. You crave balance, beauty, and refined intimacy. Partnership itself turns you on. The dance of attraction, flirting, and togetherness feels essential. Venus in Scorpio. Intense and magnetic, you seek transformative intimacy. Sex is not casual, it's a deep merging of soul and body. Power, vulnerability, and raw passion all intertwine in your erotic expression. Venus in Sagittarius. Playful, adventurous, and freedom-loving. You're drawn to passion with a sense of discovery, whether through travel, exploration, or new experiences. Sex is best when it feels fun, wild, and liberating. Venus in Capricorn. You crave depth, loyalty, and commitment. Security turns you on, and slow building passion feels more powerful than fleeting sparks. For you, desire grows with respect and long-term trust. Venus in Aquarius. Independent and experimental, you're aroused by originality and intellectual chemistry. Sex is an adventure in exploration. Open-mindedness and non-traditional bonds keep your erotic spark alive. Venus in Pisces. Dreamy, sensitive, and soulful. You long for intimacy that transcends the physical, where sex feels like a merging of souls. Music, art, and tenderness heighten your pleasure. Mars in Aries. Direct, fiery, and impatient. You want what you want, now. You're aroused by boldness and fast, passionate encounters. Sex feels most alive when it's adventurous and full of spontaneity. Mars in Taurus. Slow burning, sensual, and deeply physical. You crave touch, endurance, and indulgence. Once aroused, your stamina is unmatched. You prefer quality over quantity, savoring every moment. Mars in Gemini. Playful and restless, you're turned on by variety, curiosity, and conversation. Dirty talk, teasing, and novelty keep your passion alive. You need mental chemistry just as much as physical. Mars in Cancer. Protective and emotionally driven. Desire flows when you feel safe and cared for. Sex is nurturing, tender, but also deeply primal when emotions run strong. You love skin-to-skin closeness. Mars in Leo. Passionate, dramatic, and expressive. You need sex to feel like a performance of love and desire. You want to be adored and admired, and your partners are drawn to your natural confidence. Mars in Virgo. Precise, attentive, and perfectionistic. You're aroused by detail, touch, and a partner who appreciates your care. You thrive when there's trust and cleanliness. Sex feels healing when it's mindful. Mars in Libra. Flirty, romantic, and balanced. You need sexual harmony and beauty. Foreplay is essential, and you're turned on by the dance of seduction. You want sex to feel like a union of equals. Mars in Scorpio. Intense, magnetic, and transformative. Your sexual energy is powerful and all-consuming. You crave depth, merging, and soul-level intimacy. Casual encounters rarely satisfy you. Mars in Sagittarius. Wild, adventurous, and freedom-loving. You're aroused by exploration, humor, and risk. Sex should be fun, unrestrained, and full of discovery. Passion thrives when there are no limits. Mars in Capricorn. Disciplined, controlled, and deeply committed. Your desire builds slowly, but with great intensity. You're aroused by strength, ambition, and loyalty. Sex feels most powerful when it's earned. Mars in Aquarius. Unconventional, experimental, and electric. You're turned on by originality, surprises, and breaking the rules. You crave a lover who stimulates your mind as much as your body. Mars in Pisces. Dreamy, sensitive, and soulful. You long for sex that feels like surrender melting into your partner. Music, fantasy, and emotional vulnerability heighten your arousal. Moon in Aries. You need passion, excitement, and directness in intimacy. Emotional security comes from knowing your partner wants you boldly and without hesitation. You thrive when sex feels fiery and playful. Moon in Taurus. Stability, touch, and comfort are essential. You feel safest when love is consistent and grounded. Intimacy is slow, sensual, and deeply physical. You crave affection that reassures you. Moon in Gemini. You need variety, conversation, and playfulness. Emotional closeness blossoms through laughter and mental stimulation. Pillow talk and flirtation keep your heart and body engaged. Moon in Cancer. Emotional safety is everything. You long for closeness, tenderness, and nurturing. Intimacy feels healing when it's wrapped in affection. You need to feel held, protected, and truly cared for. Moon in Leo. You need to feel adored, admired, and cherished. Emotional intimacy grows when you're celebrated and seen as special. Sex is an act of passion and devotion that fuels your heart. Moon in Virgo. You crave reassurance, care, and purity in emotional bonds. You feel most secure when you're valued for your devotion and attentiveness. Intimacy feels healing when there's trust and clarity. Moon in Libra. Harmony, balance, and partnership bring emotional peace. You need to feel connected and equal in love. Sex feels most nourishing when it's beautiful, romantic, and shared with true togetherness. Moon in Scorpio. You need depth, honesty, and intensity. Emotional intimacy is transformative. You crave passion that feels consuming and soul-merging. Casual connection rarely satisfies your heart. Moon in Sagittarius. Freedom, laughter, and exploration are vital. You feel safest with a partner who embraces adventure. Intimacy feels nourishing when it's fun, playful, and liberating, not restrictive. Moon in Capricorn. You need stability, loyalty, and consistency. Emotional closeness comes slowly but grows deep. Sex feels nourishing when it's tied to trust, respect, and long-term devotion. Moon in Aquarius. You need space, independence, and authenticity. Emotional intimacy thrives when you feel free to be yourself without judgment. Sex feels most fulfilling when it's experimental and open-minded. Moon in Pisces. You long for tenderness, soul connection, and vulnerability. You feel safe when intimacy is dreamy, compassionate, and transcendent. Sex becomes a spiritual experience of merging. Astrology and sexual self-discovery, a guide for women. For women seeking to understand their sexual selves on a deeper level, astrology can act as a mirror, revealing hidden desires, unconscious patterns, and emotional needs that might otherwise remain unspoken. By exploring the placements of Venus, Mars, and the Moon, we gain a symbolic language for intimacy. Venus shows what we find pleasurable and how we express attraction. Mars reveals our raw sexual drive and the energy that ignites desire. The Moon uncovers our emotional needs in intimacy and what helps us feel safe, vulnerable, and open. Together, these create a sexual blueprint, a map of how body, heart, and soul weave together in the erotic self. Bringing it all together, your Venus, Mars, and Moon placements together paint a rich erotic portrait. Venus shows what feels pleasurable and beautiful. Mars shows what ignites your raw sexual fire. The Moon shows what makes you feel safe and open to intimacy. When you weave them together, you discover your unique sexual essence, body, heart, and soul aligned. Astrology doesn't confine your sexuality, it celebrates its complexity, offering a mirror through which women can reclaim, honor, and deepen their erotic identities.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps new videos coming your way. Stay tuned, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.